Very too. I don't know where she went.
Call this meeting to order. Will you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please have a roll call.
Council President Albertson.
Here.
Councilmember Rivera.
Here.
Councilmember O'Halloran.
Here.
Councilmember McIrvin.
Here.
Councilmember Prince. Councilmember Perez.
Here.
And Councilmember Vaughn.
Here.
Roll call, Mr. Mayor. One absent.
Mr. Mayor, move to excuse the absent council member.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Council President Albertson, seconded by Councilmember Perez, that the absent council member be excused. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. So we're going to start off tonight with a proclamation. It's National Women's History Month.
A proclamation. Whereas March is a time dedicated to honor women's contributions in American history, and whereas the theme for 2025 Women's History Month is moving forward together, celebrating women, educating, and inspiring generations. And whereas this theme celebrates the collective strength, equality, and influence of women who have dedicated their lives to education, mentorship, and leadership, shaping the minds and futures of all generations. And whereas women of every race, class, and ethnic background have significantly molded Renton into the community it is today, from educators that inspire generations of young women to leaders and founders who have influenced growth and change. And whereas Renton continues to honor the achievements of women past, present, and future, and is committed to a world where every woman's voice and value are recognized and celebrated. And now, therefore, I, Armando Pavoni, Mayor of the City of Renton, do hereby proclaim March 2025 to be National Women's History Month in the City of Renton, and I encourage all residents to join me in the special observance. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Renton to be affixed this 24th day of March 2025, signed Armando Pavoni, Mayor of the City of Renton.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Rivera.
I move that the council adopt the proclamation.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Rivera, seconded by Councilmember Perez, that the proclamation be adopted as read. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. And tonight to accept the proclamation is Christy Rowland.
Hi there. I'm very happy to be here. Good evening, council members, Mayor Pavoni. There are a lot of ways that women in Renton have made history worth celebrating. Because the theme this year had to do with leadership and mentoring, that was a perfect time to spotlight something that the City of Renton has supported for over 5 years now. The Northwest Women's Leadership Academy, which I'm sporting their shirt, was conceived in 2017, launched in 2018, and now has over 180 graduates statewide. It's an all-volunteer effort, myself included, with the support from cities, counties, and other local governments from across the state that aim to strengthen local government by achieving gender-balanced leadership teams across the state. The Academy offers multi-month model of training, networking, starting with a retreat and ending with a graduation that we have been hosting at our own RCC. We have continuing efforts, networking events, lunch and learns, and conference activities. It's a very robust network. We were also very intentional about removing barriers for smaller agencies and people who had to travel distances by offering homestays, scholarships. AWC now provides some of our scholarship money, and we also offer in-person and hybrid to make sure that those that are across the state don't have to be coming back and forth twice or once a month for 6 months. The inspiration to do this was the national number of people in the top seat in local government was at 13% in about 2016. So we're trying to move that needle. In Washington, in 2022, we were moving over 28%, which is pretty good, and we're still climbing. And I want to be especially thoughtful here. Renton is at 31%. which isn't bad. And the mayor's cabinet is at 50. So we're doing pretty well. And if you look across the dais, we have some fine representation there as well. We've hosted many elected officials as keynote speakers, guest speakers, just focusing on women in this local government world, including our very own Councilmember Perez, who provided our keynote last year. We've also heard from Auburn Mayor Nancy Bacchus, Issaquah Mayor Mary Lou Pauley, and King County Councilmember Claudia Balducci. And we also heard from former Governor Christine Gregoire at one time for one of our keynotes. It's been a remarkable and very positive journey. The network itself, including all of the statewide support, city staff, and counties that are contributing to this effort, the network is huge, and it's made quite a name for itself. So you should be very proud of being part of that, and I thank you for honoring us. That is all. Last note, we have a couple of graduates in the house. We have Amanda Free, Deb Needham, who are graduates, and Mary Jane Van Cleve is a graduate as well. Yeah, so let's come on up and
Take a picture.
Normal is backwards.
Okay.
So Christy's being a little bit humble. She was also one of the co-founders of the Women's Leadership Academy. So thank you very much for that. All right. We're next up for a special presentation for the Civics Academy graduates. Christy show.
Well, this is a very exciting night. Very proud to be here. I have a few words just for the record of what this academy was about. On behalf of the dedicated staff who made this happen, this inaugural Civic Academy, I'm pleased to share with you a brief overview. Our aim with this academy was to foster deeper connections with our community between residents and their local government, equipping them with a fundamental understanding of how we operate. It was a privilege to see these goals come to fruition over the course of 5 weeks, and the feedback we've received is nothing but positive. We have room to grow, we have our next cohort already filled, by the way. We were delighted. The level of interest in this was over 60 individuals applied for our 35 seats, spanning an age range from their 20s to their 70s, and we had people who just moved to Renton and people who've already been involved in boards and commissions who wanted a deeper knowledge. Out of 33 participants, each dedicated 15 hours over 5 Thursday evenings, including this evening. We've topped over 500 hours of learning and connection. And I will say the feedback that was consistent was we want more time. So 3 hours, just imagine, on a Thursday night, and they wanted more. So that was just a wonderful testament to the staff and the engagement with all the folks here. Our sessions featured presentations, scenarios, demonstrations, activities, and 35 staff members, actually more, that contributed to this with our 7 departments, administrators, directors, managers, and folks giving tours of all of the elements of our city. We moved around the city so they got to see our buildings and our facilities and how we operate. And the questions and conversations between the cohort and the staff, priceless, absolutely wonderful. We want to express our gratitude to the staff who provided enthusiastic support for this, and to you for encouraging people to apply and join our cohort. Our hope is that we have a demand to do this again. We have our next cohort almost full. We'll be working on that towards next year. And we're hoping that you will see these faces on our boards and commissions and in other volunteering opportunities coming in the future. So thank you, Council, for your support of this kind of experiment. Didn't know how it was going to go, but it's been wildly successful, and we really appreciate the opportunity to build on this success. Most importantly, however, we want to applaud those who graduated tonight. You are unofficial ambassadors of the city. Thank you very much for your time and dedication to Renton. We applaud you all. Please stand, graduates, and accept our appreciation. Accept a photo in the
I'm gonna put a
front.
picture.
A photo in the front.
Yes.
Doing great. You're doing great.
Move it around.
It's not gonna be killed.
It's gonna be a big group, yeah. Yeah, we can spread everywhere. No, yes, exactly.
Got it.
I'm gonna get into it because Councilmember Rivera, hold on.
See, you should have stayed. You should have stayed.
Be careful. So sorry. Yeah.
All right. Next up is the administrative report.
We've forgotten the Civics Academy to teach them to stay for the council meeting. So. Next one, we'll mark that down. Good evening, everyone. Please join Mayor Armando Pavoni for the City of Renton's 2025 State of the City Address, Wednesday, March 26th at 6:30 p.m. The event will take place at the Hyatt Regency Lake Washington at Seattle's Southport, located at 1053 Lake Washington Boulevard North. Doors will open at 5:30 p.m. and light refreshments will be served. The Equity Commission would like to thank the community for the overwhelming interest in serving on the commission. Over 30 applications were received for 5 vacant seats. We are currently in the process of interviewing a portion of the applicants. The commission anticipates resuming regular monthly meetings in May after the new commissioners have been appointed. Information about preventative street maintenance, traffic impact projects, and road closures happening this week can be found at rentonwa.gov/traffic. All projects are weather permitting, and unless otherwise noted, streets will always remain open.
All right, thank you. Next up is audience comment. We do have a few people signed up to speak. I want to remind everyone that all remarks must be addressed to the council as a whole. If a response is requested, please provide your name, address, and including an email address. All speakers will be given 3 minutes. When I call your name, please step up to the podium. There's a clock and a timer right there. When the little button turns yellow, please start wrapping up your comments. First up is Matt Hanby.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Mayor. Hello, council members. Fancy meeting you here. I know this is becoming a habit. I'm not as prepared as I usually am, but I don't want to miss opportunities to address you. So first of all, I just want to thank all the council members. We met with all the council members. We met with the last one. What day was it? Earlier this week, I think. I don't even know what day it is now. But the point is, it took the better part of 2 months to do that. So this is part of the challenge. And I'm trying to relate to you as like fellow human beings. So let me tell you a story, right? You know the story, the myth of Sisyphus, right? I feel like in this case it would be Cheryl and I. We've been pushing this rock up a hill, right? For a year, we've been coming to you and you couldn't talk to us, right? So we're pushing the rock. No one's helping us. And then the council removed itself from this appeal, right? The reason that you couldn't talk to us. So there goes the boulder, back down the hill. It went back the other way. So now we're catching up and we're pushing this rock up again. And, I'm sorry to be negative, but we haven't gotten anywhere with council on this issue of Logan 6. So here we are again, pushing this rock up the hill. But I think the myth says that you have to imagine yourself happy, right? Pushing this rock. And I think there's something in that for myself, I don't feel like we're being unfair, and I don't feel like we haven't represented our neighborhood or this project. There might be one or two exceptions, but more or less, I think we've been very responsible, reputable, and credible. So in some ways, I think you should be thanking us, because I can imagine all the times you have to deal with situations where people are just angry and they have a list of grievances. So having said that, here are my list of grievances. I want to thank the city administrator for answering a couple questions about Logan access. That's a big issue, but what I would say to the city is, haven't really answered this to my satisfaction. And if the facts show that the fact this development never should use Logan, then I'll accept it. But even the hearing examiner says the access points to the proposal are a valid point of debate. And it also says the city staff should have been more specific about what site access standards would be violated by Logan Street access. And no offense to our chief administrative officer, but I need chapter and verse. I need specificity, and if that's all given, I will say thank you. I agree. I understand. But until that time, this is a legitimate issue, and we've come to you 2 weeks ago with 3 requests. One was about tweaking the design standards that could have allowed the administrator to allow Logan access, right? The second one is about parking, and the third one is about an interim zoning ordinance. So we've heard boo. I've heard boo from you since it's been 2 weeks, and I expect more from this council to at least acknowledge our concerns and hopefully help us at least work our way through them. So thank you.
Next up is Cheryl Freeze.
Hi, Cheryl Freeze, Renton resident, Logan 6. I also want to say thank you because we met with our 7th and final council member, and we do appreciate everybody's time. I didn't bring my phone up because I trust I'm going to probably be at about 2.5 minutes. And I'm also not going to read completely from my notes like I have the last couple of times because I was trying to cover a lot of data. As Matt said, we are exhausted. This word has been coming up a lot, which is we were super disappointed by the behavior last week. And once again, being met by just stone-faced, no open dialogue, no willingness to communicate with us. And for over 1.5 years, I've been saying to you all individually and as a group that it just feels like you have an appetite for a lawsuit. So when we got home last week after the city council meeting, we thought long and hard about next steps. As Matt mentioned, we were given 2 free pro bono hours with an attorney who has had a lot of success and a lot of history of dealing with issues like this. And we sent out an email to dozens of residents, and within 12 hours, we gathered enough money and a reserve to file an appeal. And the moment that happened, we sent a note to the attorney and said, go, and go he did. So the appropriate parties will be getting served. And the other thing that we want to say to you is we are coming with more and more data as we continue to peel back this onion. So on Saturday, in a 26-minute period, there were 14 cars that blew through the red light. And I started counting them out loud as I had done on multiple other occasions. And the other thing that just blows our mind is this is where you want to put in a development of this size. And we still can't fathom the why and the how. We totally agree there needs to be more housing. We totally agree that it needs to be in the right place. And that's where we're in disagreement. We also want you to know that we are going to create a playbook similar to what we've asked you all for over 1.5 years to create in terms of retrospectives and really start setting people up for success that are going to be dealing with these developments. We are going to be sharing this playbook with other neighbors so that they can know what we've been up against and what we've dealt with and what we haven't received from each of you.
So again, hope you hear loud and clear that it took us 12 hours and dozens of residents responded, and it was to raise enough money to file the appeal, and we did so. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next up is Gabriel Jones.
Hey folks, my name is Gabriel Jones, and today I'm here to speak about SCORE Correctional Facility. As council members know, Renton contracts with SCORE for misdemeanor bookings. We had a presentation about this at SCORE at the Committee of the Whole last week. I'm coming today with serious concerns about the SCORE jail, and I'm asking the city, as one of the owners of the jail, to start pushing SCORE to make some changes. During the presentation, it was mentioned that there were deaths, and I want to put these into context. Since its founding, 14 years ago, 15 lives were lost, which is awful, but for that's actually, may not surprise people. But 11 of those 14 happened in the last 2 years. For context, SCORE has 3 times the average in-custody death rates for Washington jails. And for further context, King County Jail downtown has had 14 unexpected deaths since 2020, while King County Jail books about 15,000 people a year, double what SCORE has. Another thing that was not mentioned was, they talked a lot about some of the deaths, but there was one death that there was a big omission I saw, which was the death of a woman who died due to dehydration, malnutrition, low electrolyte levels, and renal failure. SCORE has also repeatedly failed to give notice of the deaths within the legal time frame, and this has been called out by a lot because they have not filed what's been needed in time multiple times. We use jail to rehabilitate people. We use jail as an opportunity for people to change. No misdemeanor is worth a death sentence, and that's what for many SCORE has become. I am begging the city of Renton to make a change and tell SCORE to ship up or ship out. Thank you.
All right, we are on to the consent agenda. There are 9 items for council consideration. Are there any that you'd like pulled for separate discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, can we pull item C?
Item C. Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah, Council President.
move to approve the consent agenda as published minus item C.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Council President Albertson, second by Councilmember Perez, that the consent agenda be approved as published minus item C. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. Councilmember McGurven.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This item, which was slated for referral to the Transportation Committee, the Transportation Committee has been briefed on, would provide for an agreement for us to join as full voting members for the East Side Transportation Partnership, of which we are not currently. So this will be very important for making sure we get our fair share of the transportation investments in Renton. So I would, with that, move approval of item C for Renton to approve to authorize the mayor to execute this agreement for the East Side Transportation Agreement.
Second.
Okay, any discussions? Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you. We are on to unfinished business. Council President Albertson.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Rivera.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember McGurven.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the Planning and Development Committee has one report to present.
Okay, Planning and Development Committee report. This is a resolution authorizing allocation of funds to finance affordable housing in South King County in accordance with the 2024 South King Housing and Homelessness Partners, aka SKIP, Housing Capital Fund recommendation. The Planning and Development Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to adopt a resolution to authorize the allocation of $269,077 from the City of Renton's contribution to the SKIP Housing Capital Fund to finance affordable housing in South King County communities in concurrence with the SKIP Executive Board's recommendation. This is signed by the Vice Chair member and alternative member.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember McGurven.
I move the council concur with the Planning and Development Committee report.
Okay.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember McGurven, second by Councilmember Van, that the council concur with the Planning and Development Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Councilmember Perez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Finance Committee has 4 committee reports to present.
All right, the first report is regarding approval of claims and payroll vouchers. Finance Committee approves the following payments. Accounts payable, total payment of $8,496,918.30. This is for a number of vouchers, payroll benefit with and payroll benefit withholding vouchers. And then 2 is payroll, total payment of $2,032,721.96 for a number of payroll vouchers and direct deposits. And so this is for the February 16th through 28th pay period. And then municipal court vouchers totaling $7,536.18. This is signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Perez.
I move that the council concur with the recommendation of the Finance Committee committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilmember Perez, second by Councilmember O'Halloran, that the council concur with the Finance Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
All right, the next report is regarding an amendment to a contract with Pacifica Law Group. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve Amendment 3 to Contract 21157 with Pacifica Law Group LLP to increase compensation by $125,000 for legal representation in connection with the city's B&O tax audit. This is signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Perez.
I move that the council concur with the recommendation of the Finance Committee committee report.
Second.
Been moved by Councilmember Perez, second by Councilmember O'Halloran, that the council concur with the Finance Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
All right, the next report is regarding an energy grant sub-agreement with the Association of Washington Cities. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the sub-grant agreement with the Association of Washington Cities for the city of Renton to receive funds in the amount of $205,806 to pay for investment-grade audits. This is signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Perez.
I move that the council concur with the recommendation of the Finance Committee committee report.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Perez, second by Councilmember O'Halloran, that the council concur with the Finance Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Okay, the final report from the Finance Committee is regarding a design service agreement for the Piazza project combined with the Renton Market or Renton Pavilion project. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute Amendment Number 8 with Graham Baba Architect for the Piazza Park project. This amendment includes full design and construction administration as part of a combined project with the Renton Market project in the amount of $394,865.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Perez.
I move that the council concur with the recommendation of the Finance Committee committee report.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Perez, second by Councilmember O'Halloran, that the council concur with the Finance Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. Councilmember Van.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
All right, we are on to legislation. We have one resolution for adoption.
All right, this is regarding the South King Housing and Homelessness Executive Board funding. A resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, authorizing the duly appointed administering agency for the South King Housing and Homelessness Partners to execute all documents necessary to enter into agreements for the funding of affordable housing projects as recommended by the SCIP Executive Board, utilizing funds contributed by the city to the SCIP Housing Capital Fund.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember McGurk.
I move the resolution be adopted as read.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember McGurven, second by Councilmember Van, that the resolution be adopted as read. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are on to new business. Council President Alverson.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. On Monday, April 7th, well, first off, there will be no council meeting on next Monday, March 31st, as it's the fifth Monday. And then on Monday, April 7th at 5:45 p.m., the Committee of the Whole will meet in the Council Conferencing Center. Two items on the agenda. the disaster recovery framework, and the proposed resolution discussion. And then at 7 p.m. on that same Monday, April 7th, the council meeting will occur here in council chambers and via video conference. And that is all, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Rivera.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to recognize your administration and Christy Rowland for the turnaround with the Women's History Month proclamation. I really do appreciate that. And just wanted to state that during this time that all women, including trans women, are women and are celebrated during this time. And especially those who are in local and elected office, as mentioned by Christy Rowland. I want to take this time to also say that I stand with Representative Tara Simmons and some of the attacks that she's been undergoing. Women in politics experience more of this hate at an alarming rate, especially with the rhetoric. And I just wanted to take that time to say that. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilmember O'Halloran.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember McGurven.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. The Transportation Committee will be meeting on Monday, April 7th at 4:45 p.m. in the council conference room. And there's just one item on the agenda, and that is supplement number 4 to CAG 2083 with KPG Somas Incorporated for Southwest 43rd Street Improvement Project. And then just finally, I just wanted to address for some of the commenters in the audience we've heard. I don't think this format up here really makes itself super conducive for two-way dialogue, but I'm still remaining happy to have conversations with folks. I know you've had the opportunity to meet with everyone, but I don't want there to be the appearance that we're not listening and haven't heard. I don't know that this format lends itself to being the best one for discussion. But if there's a discussion that needs to be had, I'm happy to have it when that time is right.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Perez.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Van.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Utilities Committee has a meeting on April 7th, Monday, at 3:45 p.m. At the council conference room, excuse me, or video conference. We have 3 items on the agenda. First is resolution authorizing appointment of MWPAC representative and alternate. 2, professional services and agreement with HDR Engineering Incorporated for a reclaimed water feasibility study. 3, emerging issues, and under that is status of federal funding requests. And with that, that's the Utilities Committee business.
All right. President, I know you have an announcement.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I move to recess into executive session for approximately 45 minutes to discuss labor negotiations per RCW 42.30.130, subsection 4, subsection B, and potential litigation per RCW 42.30.110.1, subsection I, and the council meeting will be adjourned when the executive session is adjourned. That's all, Mr. Mayor. What's that? Oh, that's right. No action will be taken. Forgive me for that. That's it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that the council will adjourn to executive session for a recess to executive session for approximately 45 minutes. There'll be no action taken, and we will adjourn directly after executive session. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. All right, we're adjourned.